What's up, y'all? It's Jake Owen, and you are watching Bourbon Soaked Live.
Hey there, y'all. I'm Juliette Miranda, and welcome to Bourbon Soaked Live, the best place to be on YouTube on a Monday night for cocktails and conversation.
Shenanigans.
And shenanigans. But see, that's not an alliteration, so I don't like to say it up front. I have a thing for alliterations.
We have the weirdest setup here today. I'm looking at you through bars here.
I know, it feels like you're in jail.
I practically am.
My poor producer back there, David the producer, he's working on the floor, actually, because we've cleaned out our entire studio in anticipation of our move to New Orleans. And we got rid of a ton of furniture, and poor David is just kind of working like a hobo. How's it going back there?
I'm on the floor. I'm sitting Indian style here. I haven't done that since I was like 13. So
I know,
this is
and
brutal.
the wall behind you is dirty from the couch that used to be there.
I know. Yeah, there's a little cleaner. You see the little
So
line
scuzzy.
from the couch.
You were picking crap up off the floor just so you had room to sit. This is so just janky.
This is hobo.
It really is, but what are you going to do? I mean,
We're here.
We're here.
We're drinking. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed. We have our usual gang of misfits and miscreants in the chat right now. I know Mad Kiwi has been tailgating for quite a while. I saw Lottery of Life and Patrick Fulmer. I see Jared Shelton has joined us, not a great gamer. Y'all, thanks for being here on your Monday night. I hope y'all are well and happy and ready to do a little bit of drinking.
Some damage.
Maybe a little damage.
For a Monday, we're all just still not going anywhere.
Well, and that's why I decided to call tonight's episode Stir Crazy, because we're going to be talking about all of those little things that just make you fucking nuts.
Uh-oh.
And no, I'm fine, really.
You're feeling a little stabby today?
Well, you keep accusing me. You keep saying, I think you're going to kill me in my sleep.
Well, I know that's going to happen. It's just a question of when. Is it this week? Is it 2 years from now? I think this whole COVID thing is going to bring it, right to a bubble.
I'm not going to kill you in your sleep. I love you. You're my producer and my husband. I need you.
Yeah, producers aren't cheap.
I know.
I do it for free.
You do. So we got that going on. What do you say we talk a little bit about what we are drinking tonight?
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're drinking two totally different things
I
again.
know. Again, I don't know why you're drinking wine.
I was just in a wine mood tonight.
I'm sad about that. But that's fine.
Maybe I'll change up.
It means more bourbon for me. I'm drinking Knob Creek 12 Year. And initially, I wasn't entirely thrilled with it, but after I kind of let it open up a little bit, after I've had a couple of sips and now half the bottle, I'm really digging it. So Knob Creek comes from the Jim Beam family. It's another high corn bourbon with a little bit of rye and barley thrown in the mix. It's been aged 12 years. It's 100 proof. I love the proof on this because you get that really potent flavor, but it kind of mellows out some of that barrel aging. So, it spends 12 years sitting there in a barrel. It soaks up the wood. And this definitely has that oaky flavor, but it's not entirely as drying as it is when you get, higher aging. Really digging it. It's just a nice, kind of sweet, potent, tasty bourbon.
It's not an oak bomb, which is good, because those, to me, are a little bit much. I don't like to taste that much of the barrel.
Yeah, it depends on the bourbon for me. I find that it depends on the mash. So if it's got a higher corn mash, I tend to like more of that barrely flavor, but if it's already got a lot of rye in it, the barrel kind of competes with it. So it's just a really nice balance.
And I've been working on my reviews, and I am drinking Welch's grape juice right here.
You're lying.
It is
David, the producer, is a liar.
It's La Pasta, and it's a 2017. You can get these at your local, liquor store for like under $15, and it's an awesome wine from Argentina. Love, 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 love this stuff. And I don't like cheap wine like a Bad Dog 2020 or anything like that.
Oof, no, no, thank you.
But this is a really value priced wine that's actually very, very good. It's a Malbec, by the way.
It is. It's good for a Malbec. It's got a nice, or it's not overly fruity.
Right.
It's got a little bit of kind of like a licorice flavor to it almost, which I like.
It is nice.
And I see Mad Kiwi is asking if we get Bullet bourbon in the U.S. Well, hell yeah, we do. It's outstanding. I'm a big fan of Bullet, and they've had some really nice releases, including, I believe it was a barrel-proof release not too long ago that I thoroughly enjoyed far more than their regular line.
Didn't you dig the rye, too?
I love the rye. I find the rye is excellent for mixing. It's great in a Manhattan.
Jared says David is crazy. That's nothing new.
No, we are well aware of that. So just a reminder, y'all, I'm Juliette Miranda. You're watching Bourbon Soaked Live. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can catch every single episode and all the video craziness that I post. Make sure you give this a like, a big old thumbs up, and share it on your social media because, well, duh, we want people here watching, so that's helpful.
Yeah, it hurts no one.
I see that Patrick Fulmer has been drinking Cabernets aged in bourbon barrels. Yes, we had one called Buckshot not too long ago that was excellent.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was surprisingly good. Patrick, that's a really good call out because I'd forgotten about how much we enjoyed that. We should pick up another bottle.
You know what? That is really good. And we're going to have to get... I don't know if we're going to be able to get that to where we're going.
I know. That's the thing about moving to another state that's kind of freaking us out a little bit.
It's what we can get, what we can't get. Where's the closest leather store? You know, all the important questions.
Well, absolutely. Keys to the handcuffs. What if we lose them? It's the stuff you got to make lists for.
You don't write that shit down. That'll just put you away.
Oh, I write everything down. That's what I do.
You are the queen of lists.
I am. You got to stay organized somehow. I mean, I function well when I have a particular order of things I know I need to get through.
You know the order of things we need to get through?
Oh.
We need to get through some Bourbon Soaked Live picks.
Well, all right. Thanks for moving it along, David, the producer.
See, that's what I do.
That's what you do. Hashtag Bourbon Soak Live, y'all. Know it, love it, use it. That is hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. It's our little way of getting to know each other. So what I want you to do is snap a photo of yourself watching the show or of what you're drinking or, I don't know, something fancy, and post it to Twitter using the hashtag Bourbon Soak Live. And then we feature it on the show. Now, I don't see her in the chat. If she is, she's being awfully quiet. But Ginger is our master meme maker. And every week she creates us some new memes based off of random things we say during the show. Last week was our turn-on episodes. And obviously, Ginger has called out the 3 most important topics of the night: boobs, ass, and boobs.
You gotta love Ginger.
Live. Yeah. Oh, she's awesome.
And she's a good listener.
What else do we have in Bourbon Soak Live, producer man?
Yeah, I am scrolling down. We've got a few here. That's latest. Is that a
Wait,
latest?
what was the cat? Show me the cat.
Hold, please. That was
It's
March
Ginger's
23rd.
cat. Okay, well, that's a while ago then.
I know. Hold on.
Okay, go to the top.
Let me hit latest. Twitter is not complying for some reason. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, and Ginger is again talking about something that I talked about on the most recent episode of the Unwritable Rant podcast. It was a guy that I had dated who had a cock piercing, the Prince Albert piercing, to be specific. And when I described it, I said, when you give a cock a little metal dealy bobber, it looks like an alien pug. It just does. Think about it for a minute. Picture that in your head.
No, thank you. I'm going to pass on the whole, putting a hole in my penis thing.
Ow!
Yeah. I think I'll pass. It already has one. I came with one. I don't need more.
I know, you don't need to add to it because you know what they say, that after you first get it, when you pee, it sprays through the second hole.
No shocker. Could you imagine standing in the urinal next to a guy who's got a piercing?
You need a raincoat.
Yeah, no shit. It's like a Gallagher show.
Yeah, that's just not okay. And he was not the greatest guy to date either. I mean, the cock piercing was what it was, but so yes, so
I'm
that
getting that put on a T-shirt, by the way.
are you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'll wear that, and you can wear your mayonnaise cannon T-shirt.
Awesome.
There we go. Perfect. I see Bobby Blaze also posted last week, which was awesome. We are always happy to see our friend Bobby when he joins us in the chat. So hopefully he's going to be hanging out with us a little later tonight. I know he said he would be here. Speaking of, I see that our friend Charles Ashworth is here. Charles, you missed it, or maybe you didn't. I am drinking Knob Creek 12 year again. I was drinking it on Saturday night when I was talking with the Whiskey Crusaders.
And they just hit 1,000 subs.
Well done, guys. That's fantastic. If you get a chance, definitely check out the Whiskey Crusaders for all of that hardcore bourbon talk and whiskey talk and scotch talk. They're excellent.
So many cool people up on their celebration stream. They did it from 4 o'clock to 11 o'clock.
Yeah, that was
my
a
God.
long time. We weren't on for the whole time because I
No,
would
we just
never
did an hour.
lasted. Never.
But it was awesome.
I also see that Fred Rosado has joined us. He is from our racing fans. He's part of the PETM posse. The PETM podcast is another podcast that I love. They are awesome. So hey, Fred, and hooray, Bobby Blaze is here.
Hey, Mr. Bobby Blaze. We love Bobby.
And Charles is drinking, does that say, from here with my cross-eyed, like not wearing glasses, it looks like Tail Seeker. But I'm guessing that's not what it is.
Talisker, it says. I'm still
Talisker.
drinking Talisker.
Ah, okay. It's not Tail Seeker.
That was my nickname in high school.
I am not surprised at all, David, the producer.
Everyone likes a good tail seeker.
Well, who doesn't, right? Sounds like something like you would call a drone, the Tail Seeker.
Hey, and by the way, if anyone wants to see our good friend Bobby Blaze from the WWF, he came up on our other live channel that I do on my channel. If you go to David the Producer, you could find him on episode 3 that we had out there. And he was such a blast. He has such awesome and funny stories. If you get a chance, if you haven't had the opportunity, go out and check that out.
Definitely. And David, the producer, does have his own YouTube channel. It is the best kept secret on YouTube. We like to keep it that way.
Obviously, by the number of views, it's really secret.
It's really just a place for us to play. It isn't serious. It isn't an actual, we're making this a channel thing. It's just a place to hang out with some of our friends.
And I'm only doing it as long as this virus lasts. And as soon as they let us out for air, then that show's going to go kaput.
But that being said, David, the producer on YouTube, check it out.
I'm going to start promoing my stuff on here. That's real smart.
Well, what do you say? Oh, hey, before we do that, I see Blended Whiskey has joined us. So yay, cheers to you, Mr. Blended Whiskey. I am drinking Knob Creek 12 year tonight, so hopefully you have something equally good in your hands.
Yeah.
And now, let's talk about the topic at hand, which would be going stir crazy. Hey, wait, Mad Kiwi is asking about bushwhackers. And that is...
Is that still going? Bushwhackers isn't that a...
Well, I know it as a drink
No.
out of Tennessee. It's called
really?
the Bushwhacker. Yeah.
Oh.
It's almost...
I think that's a wrestling thing, though.
Is it?
Maybe I'm crazy like it says on my medical bracelet. I don't know.
All right. Well, y'all are going to have to continue that conversation. I just saw Bushwhacker and I thought of a cocktail out of Tennessee that isn't my favorite, but...
Nickname of a girlfriend in high school.
Bushwhacker.
Who knew?
Go see the Bushwhacker. So, focus.
Focus.
We are talking about being stir crazy tonight and the little things that make us nuts. Because we're all kind of locked up and on top of each other, and now more than ever in these trying times, little things just...
Trying times.
I know, right?
I hate those. In every commercial you see, they start off every commercial, in these trying times.
If I hear that one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. Hence, what we're talking about tonight, the little things that set us off, that just have way more importance than they need to because we are on top of each other. What's going on back there?
I have to stand up every now and again to get some circulation in my legs, or else I'm going to get, Jimmy leg. They're just going to go dead on me.
Poor David, the producer's curled up on the floor like a cat.
I'm going to need a wheelchair. Stat.
Oh, you'll be fine. So, yes, if you have stories about the things that make you nuts, be sure to share them in the chat so that we can talk about them tonight. To kick things off, though, my first thing that just makes me insane every time it happens, David the producer, would be mouth noises. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about because it's something that once you hear it, you can never get it out of your head. Exactly. Like, could you just not breathe anymore?
Mouth noises are annoying. Well, there's several different types, as you know, right? There's people that eat with their mouth open, which is absolutely
That's foul.
first. It's foul.
What kind of an animal are you?
Yeah, that's barnyard shit. Right,
Yes.
right there. Right, eating with your mouth open. The other is the mouth breather.
Oh, I know. I mean, and if you're sick, that's one thing, fine. I will give you a pass. But if you sit there and just breathe through your mouth all day long, how are you still alive?
I used to work with a person, and this goes way back in the day where I actually was in a cubicle. I had to go into an office, and the guy that sat like right in front of me, I don't know what was going on with his mouth, but all I know is he would constantly get shit stuck between his teeth, and you'd hear the sucking sound.
Ew.
You're like, dude, get some floss, man.
Oh, that's so gross. I used to work with somebody, and this was years ago, who would eat at their desk. And it didn't matter what they were eating. It could be, day-old noodles. You could still hear them chewing from halfway across the office. And for an hour, it would be crunching and chewing and slurping. It was disgusting. And one day, I finally went over to him and I said, we can all hear you eating. And he looks up and he goes, so we all eat. Yeah, we're not all savages about it. Close your goddamn mouth.
You know what? I'm going to put you into the category 5 when we get there, just for that comment.
Yeah, there's just nothing more disgusting than people who cannot control their own mouth noises. But
I couldn't think of just any more than 3 mouth noises.
well, there's one that's deliberate, and that would be whistling.
Oh, you hate whistling. I forgot.
Whistling. I am so anti-whistling. It's not even funny. Don't you even, because I will end you.
Yeah, whistling doesn't bother me. I don't care when people whistle.
It's just the tonality of it. There's just something about it that makes me insane. I can't be the only one who hates whistling. There's got to be somebody else out there who hates whistling as much as I do, because it's horrible. Horrible.
Mad Kiwi says sloppy eating like sex sounds.
Ooh, yeah. You get that sort of like sucking and slurping at the same time. That's not something you want to hear sitting next to somebody on a bus.
Charles Ashworth says, making lots of noises currently eating chicken.
Well, I hope it's fried chicken at the very least, because that's like, finger smacking good.
Oh, and West Haven, always and forever, says Juliette and Dave.
Oh, well, hello. Thanks for being here tonight.
Shared love from Connecticut. USA shared. Hey, thanks. That's awesome.
Lottery of Life says, my wife hates whistling as well. I'm not alone.
Oh, it has to be the tonality of it, because there's nothing, wrong with whistling. I think that's very specific to some certain people. Crazy people.
And I see... I'm sorry, what?
What happened? I'm sorry.
I will end you. Mad Kiwi says, I've heard some fantastic whistlers. I don't care how good they are at it. I don't care if they can, whistle, the Hallelujah chorus. I don't want to hear it. Because they do it at the most... What?
You're so self-righteous.
No, I'm not. I'm specific. Fred says, I used to hate it, but my 8-year-old whistles a lot, and she's really good now, so I can tolerate. See, I'd keep her in the backyard all day long.
Well, just don't have any dogs around. That would be really bad.
I know, you'd call the dogs to the neighborhood, and that would be bad. Lottery of Life is suggesting that you hide the chloroform.
Yeah, I'm I don't know if I have to hide the chloroform or the recipe she has for it. I'm more worried about the recipe. I had the recipe. She can't make it anymore.
Oh, I have that recipe committed to memory. I see the shape has joined us, so thank you for being here, sir.
The shape is here, and also just came out with a new video. He's been on a little bit of a hiatus, and it was awesome. I checked it out just the other day.
Yet. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch. Yay.
It's very fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyone who likes just paranormal parody, I'll call it. He does a great job, and believe me, a lot of people I've seen do parodies of other kinds of genres. He's not mean about it. He's actually very funny.
No, he's just funny about it. It's all done in good spirit.
Absolutely.
So to speak.
God. Did you just do that?
I totally did.
Oh.
So I see Richie Z is joining us as well. So cheers. Thanks for being here. I don't know what you're drinking, Richie, but I've got the Knob Creek 12-year on me, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it tonight. And that 100 proof is just cutting right through me since I haven't eaten since yesterday. So.
Yeah, and I agree with the shape. Only 13 people here and only 5 likes. Smash that like button, damn it.
What are you people doing? Press the goddamn like button.
That'll get him to do it.
I'm sorry. I'm a little stir crazy tonight too, y'all.
Yep, see? No, you're in self-promotion mode, so I'll throw that up there.
All right, like it, subscribe. Good. I see Malton in Montreal has joined us. So he says, so the subject is annoying sounds. Not quite, sir. We are talking about things that make us crazy while we are here in lockdown. So I was starting the conversation by talking about how much mouth noises annoy me. But what do you say we move things along and move it on to our next topic?
Well, if anyone else has any other things that drive them crazy, they can put it in the chat and we'll talk
Please
about it
do,
too.
and we will get to it. I see WTF Mike has joined us, so yay.
Hey.
Thank you for being here. I'm
And
so
always
glad
great to see
you.
Swami too.
Yes, and Swami, always good to see you.
This one drives me crazy.
All right, well, tell me, David the producer, what about being indecisive makes you insane?
It's the time it wastes. It's if someone can't make a decision on something, it's just as bad as making a bad decision in my eyes. It's just pick a lane, man. Yes or no. Do something, don't do something. It's the indecision. When I'll be in a conference call for work, and I'll ask someone a question, and they can't figure out which way to go with it.
Ugh.
It drives me insane.
Yes. The same thing happens when, we're waiting in line to get, coffee or something, and the person in front of you cannot figure out what they want to order. I'm not saying you need to know immediately when you walk into the store or when you pull up to the drive-thru what it is that you want to eat or drink, but know what you like. Don't sit there and run through every item on the menu going, I don't know if I'll like that. Do you like that? What's good? No, I wouldn't like that. Let me think about this. And then they take 10 minutes to sit there having some sort of internal debate.
This is why I could never be a waiter at a restaurant. I see people like trying to order their meals at their table. There'll be somebody that'll be next to you or a table down, and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't get a chance to look at the menu. Let me look at it while you're standing here."
Oh, that drives me nuts.
Oh, maybe I like that. I don't know if I want that right now. And you want to just throw a salt shaker in their skull.
Yes, this is why I hate going out to dinner or lunch or whatever with a group of my girlfriends. Forgive me, girls, for saying this. I love you. You know I do. But Jesus fucking Christ. Order! We'll be sitting there. I'll open the menu. I'll scan it. I'll know what I want. And then they sit there and they're just talking about stuff. And I have to feel like I keep them on track by saying, okay, let's just order. Let's order. Let's order. And it starts with cocktails. They can't even order a cocktail.
Well, Swami would know about that. He's a bartender, and that's got to drive you nuts as a bartender, especially in a crowded bar when there's other people waiting for, to get their order taken, and that's it. Stand there. Did you see what Swami said, by the way?
No, what did Swami say?
You can read it in there.
I can't see it.
Oh, LOL, all women never know what they want to eat until you decide, and then they know they don't want to eat what you want.
We actually do that sometimes. We'll be staring at, Grubhub, and you'll go, "What do you want to eat?" And I'll say, "I don't know, whatever you want." And then you'll say, "Well, let's get sushi." And I'll say, "No, we're not getting sushi."
Yeah, and I'm like, well, thanks for putting it in my hands, Ace. Hey, can you read WTF Mike's?
WTF Mike says, "The one that drives me crazy is why we have fingertips but no toe tips, but yet somehow we can tiptoe." I am so glad I'm not high right now, because that would have
That would
me
blow my
on
mind.
I'd be on my ass. Let's see. Bobby Blaze says, "It's fucking McDonald's. You know what they have. Also, it's lunch or dinner, not life or death. Just order." Thank you. Thank you. You get the
Hurrah,
nuggets and
sir.
you get a burger. Whatever.
And Charles Ashworth says, "Yes, Juliette, you should know what you want when walking up to the counter. You also shouldn't order something that takes 5 minutes to order."
Yes, exactly.
That's a Starbucks moment when you're in there and some guy orders a half frappuccino, mocha bullshit, suck my balls. I'm like, dude, don't you know what coffee is?
Exactly. You're there for coffee. Drink coffee. Drink tea. Personally, I don't think there's any difference in all the flavorings and the taste of all of that. Just get coffee with cream and drink it. Don't get a 5-gallon jug of it. Just get a nice little, handheld size and be fine.
Richie Z says, "I'll decide for them if they're hesitant."
Ooh, good call. That's a good idea. I think that's what we need to do with our new social order. Let's just order for everybody.
Right. Absolutely. And Charles says, "Looks like you got a little color."
I did indeed, Charles. We've been outside a great deal these past couple of days because we brought a dumpster to the house to
That's
clean.
not code. That's not code for prostitute, by the way.
No, it's not. We're not disposing of bodies. We're disposing of the junk in the house before we move. And much as we wanted to donate all of our crap, we couldn't get anybody here to pick it up, and we
Right.
have no other place to put it. So we brought in a dumpster, and I was outside all weekend long, hauling stuff out to that thing and hauling it in. And we actually, funny enough, we had several pickers come through overnight to root through the bin, and none of them took anything.
That shows you the quality of the crap we threw out.
Yeah.
Charles says, "My wife, what was it? Oh, my wife, I no longer order for her at Starbucks." Well, I could see that. Yeah.
You and I are pretty specific when we go to Starbucks. We know what we like.
There's only 2 things we order.
Exactly. Yeah. You order a venti latte,
Yep. Simple.
and I'll either order an iced tea or a hot green tea. That's it.
Or in the winter.
I will
minty hot
occasionally get
chocolate.
a peppermint mocha in the winter with no whipped cream, because whipped cream is disgusting.
There you go. I think we beat Indecision to the ground.
We have indeed. Oh, damn it. That thing's tight.
There's a joke there, and I just held back. I held back the whole time.
Yes. WTF Mike says, "People that leave their cart in the middle of the damn aisle as they run back for something or at the checkout." Yes. That is so rude, especially when you're in a store that's a little bit smaller. Like, our Target is huge, but if I go to our Whole Foods or something, it's got more narrow aisles. One shopping cart in there will block passage for everybody. That's the most inconsiderate thing you can do to your fellow shoppers.
Well, you know what I do to those people? If they've run out of the aisle, like they forgot to go get something, I'll throw stuff in their cart.
Mm.
I've done that.
I've done that several times, and it always pisses them off. They're like, "What do you think you're doing?" I'm like, "Well, I figured if I threw enough stuff in there, you'd get out."
Well, I don't do it in front of them. I let them
I've just gotten
figure it out
caught.
at checkout.
Yeah, no, I've gotten caught. They've caught me doing it because I'm not subtle at all.
Yeah,
Ever.
not very good at the subtleties.
I am not. Well, occasionally I am, but when I'm pissed off, obviously, like tonight, no subtlety. And the shape, yes, thank you. I do. I'm quite proud of them.
I thought he was talking about me. Son of a bitch.
No, sorry. Yeah, whenever David and I are setting up the shots for the show, I say, no, more leg.
More like.
Show more leg. Although Malton and Montreal.
Wow, easy for you to say.
God damn it. I thought I liked alliterations. He's taking credit for having nice legs, so.
Yeah. I look awesome in jorts. I'm just saying.
Oh, you do. You do. You're going to look really good walking up and down the French Quarter in jorts.
I just can't wait to get there.
I
All right,
know.
you up to number 3 here?
All right, bring on number 3. What have we got? Ooh, the person who always has to be right. Oh, and I've talked about this before, but I need to get on my little soapbox here about grammar Nazis. I cannot stand grammar Nazis. This is probably my biggest pet peeve in life. It's social media. If you're going to call somebody out on something, call them out on the point that they're making, not on the fact that they misused an apostrophe. That just makes you look like a dick. Nobody cares in social communication how you spell your, whether or not it's what is or what are. Just let it go. Ugh.
I will think in my head, though. I'll get a little judgy and go, that's the wrong too.
Well, I'm not saying I don't notice it. I notice it, of course, but I don't care. You know? I mean,
yeah. I mean, would you call it out to that person? Hell no.
God, no. I mean, unless I'm getting a business email from somebody and they've misspelled every single word in it, well, then I'm going to kind of question their intelligence. But publicly correcting people or like going through, I've seen people do this at restaurants. They'll grammar check menus, which I find abhorrent. I mean, who are you benefiting here, really? You know, you're just stroking your own little ego by doing that.
The always right person I see constantly, and it's, ever present here, go on Twitter for 5 minutes. You want to run into a whole pack of them? You could go on Facebook. You want to run into a whole nother pack of them?
I know.
Everyone always has to be right on social media.
That drives me nuts. You know, why can't we just have a conversation?
Nope.
You can't appreciate somebody's point. You have to nitpick, or you have to get to the your own little petty grievance. I see there's tons of stuff flowing past my eyes here. I see my Bourbon Journey. My Bourbon Journey has joined us. So
hello.
Thanks for being here tonight.
Container Man's here.
Container Man has shown up, and yes, Container Man. I'm a little sunburned, but it's just because we were working outside all weekend.
Right.
But I'll live. Yes,
Someone
Malton and
pointed out
Montreal. What?
your, right?
Oh, Container Man is asking about my getting rid of all of my Playboy magazines.
No.
I didn't get rid of them. No.
No.
Oh, no.
Those are collectors.
No, I have, I don't know, what was it, like 50 of them?
Something like that.
I
Yeah, I
have-
think you had one season, and it happened to be a hell of a season.
Oh, yeah. I've got some classic Playboys that I've been hanging on to for years. I mean, we're talking the original
Oh, wait, they're by
Pamela.
month. I'm sorry. I'm a moron. It's not a weekly. Back in the day,
No,
it was monthly.
Yeah.
So if you have 50, you have pretty close to roughly 4 years, right?
Yep, about right. I've got the original Pamela Anderson issue, all sorts of, I've got the 50th anniversary issue. We kind of had a blast the other night going through them when we were winding down after all of our cleaning. And I love Playboy magazine. I think it used to be, let me preface this, it used to be so pretty.
No, it's
and
a bag
so
of ass now.
elegant and just gorgeous women and beautiful photography. And now it's just a shit bag.
It's like a cheap version of Maxim magazine.
Well, that's actually, I believe, who the editor is now.
Right, he came from
He
Maxim.
came from Maxim, yeah, which explains why it's shit. Let's see, what have we got going on here?
Montreal says, again, fucking Karens.
Patrick and Container Man, I'm not getting rid of the Playboys. I'm hanging on to those. I don't care how little storage we have in New Orleans. I'm shoving them in there.
You're hanging on for dear life with those things. Yeah, I'm paying a mover probably like $300 to move, $40 worth of magazines.
Yeah, that one box is just going to tip us over our weight limit.
Maybe not.
Night Train FPV says, I have a couple of years of them in plastic still. Wow.
Ooh.
Ooh, what decade are they from? Are they 90s, 80s?
Yours are all 90s, right?
Most of mine are 90s, but I've got a couple of 80s ones in there that I stole from my dad.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes. Oh, I miss good Playboy magazine.
Container Man says you're red from being passed out in the driveway.
I did not pass out on the driveway. I'm a fucking lady. Come on.
I can tell by the language.
Oh, and David, the producer, by the way,
Cramping
can hear
up.
all this shuffling behind the scenes. So when we cleaned out our studio, we got rid of his couch and his chair and his table. So he's working on the floor like a cat, and he can't get comfortable, apparently.
Oh, no, I'm cramping up. Oh,
Getting
God.
old, David, producer.
You sit Indian style at my age. You suck it.
That much younger than you are.
I know.
So what did I see? Malton in Montreal says, millennials like ugly chicks with dyed armpits and unibrows. Don't get me started on armpit hair. You know what? I love you gals. If you're going to go with the hair, fine. Me personally, I do not find it attractive.
Nope.
Not in the least. I'm one of those, the less hair everywhere, the better.
Swami says, eat a banana, David. Yeah, I need that potassium. Right?
So Richie Z says, one of my exes used to pay for a subscription for me for a couple of years, so I have at least 24 in a box. Hang on to them. I mean, now that Playboy isn't a thing anymore, and it's not the cultural phenomenon it once was, I feel like in another decade or so, these issues are probably going to be fairly valuable. At least, fingers crossed. Jimmy C. and Friends has joined us. Thanks for being here. We are talking about being stir-crazy. Clearly, David and I are a little nuts tonight. So we're talking about all of the things that just make us kind of crazy.
All the things that piss you off.
All the things that just piss you off. So what do you say? Let's move it along. What have we got now? Lateness.
People who are late. Late to a call. Late to a meeting.
Late to Bourbon Soak Live.
Late with their period.
Okay, I don't hate that. That just makes me scared and sad.
Yeah. Anything that has to do with late, I loathe.
It's just rude to not show up on time. How hard is it to set your phone to remind you, hey, in 10 minutes, I need to do this thing? It's not complicated.
You know, back in the day, not everyone wore a watch. I understand that.
No, I appreciate that.
Now, everyone carries one. It's called a fucking cell phone. Look at it.
It's not hard to figure out what time of day it is. And you're on your phone all goddamn day.
Wow.
You're like, okay, you know what? Just
Holy man,
shush
the
it.
wheels just fell off of that one.
Oh, fuck.
You just had a
goddamn
vowel
duck.
movement.
I did. I'm falling apart, y'all. I haven't eaten since yesterday. And I took a Zyrtec before the show. And I'm drinking 100 proof bourbon, so...
Oh, okay, well, that's your excuse. I love this one. Night Train says Lombardi time. That means 15 minutes prior to all appointments. Absolutely.
Right.
If you're not early, you're late.
You are. It's just rude, and it shows zero respect for the person that you're trying to show up for. And I feel like the millennial culture has zero concept of time because they're all wrapped up in their own little world. So they just kind of get there when they get there. Float on in and out. And
Swami said, making this about him not showing up to the last one. He's like, sorry, I needed a fucking nap.
yeah, Swami, you know what? You were dead to us for like 30 seconds.
No, you know what? If you don't show up at all, that's not late. That's just being absent. There's a big difference.
There is a big difference.
No shows are actually kind of funnier to me than late.
Well, and you had a perfectly good reason for not showing up.
Drunk or sleepy. I'll take either
Or
of those.
both, you know. Container Man is drinking Coronas.
Ah,
I get it.
Coronas. Yes, why not? It's that time. I'm glad I'm still able to work, or I think I would become an alcoholic like those two. I think he was talking about someone else in the chat.
I don't know who he'd be talking about. We've got at
Those
least
two.
5 people in the chat right now.
Not
So
specific enough. Those two.
I'm a writer. I can do whatever I want. Patrick Fulmer says, when my father dies, we're going to wheel him in 10 minutes late. He is always late, and he will be late for the funeral. Okay, that's actually a huge, awesome sign of respect. I appreciate that.
If you're late to your life, make it a thing.
What a perfect tribute. That's actually kind of hysterical and awesome. I like that. And Malted in Montreal is suggesting that cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yep, Bobby Blaze, if you can't be on time, be early.
Even when my girlfriend and I were working as on-demand strippers, we always showed up early. And what was funny is that nobody expected us to be there on time. Like, the guys would still be trying to figure their shit out, you know, they'd still be, you know, showing up, and we'd be there, you know, lingerie in hand and ready to do our thing. And they'd actually make us wait for them to get the party going, which was fine because we charged by the hour, so we got more money. But still, you know, you're expecting 2 girls to strip for you. The least you can do is be ready for them.
Boy, I tell you, those home strip parties, I've been to a few in my day, and they're the most kind of uncomfortable things ever, because usually they're surrounding like a poker game or something. Your guys playing a whole bunch of poker, then strippers show up, and you're like, dude, I'm on a roll. Could you have them sit out in the hallway for about 20 minutes?
Well, we were mostly doing, you know, bachelor parties or just, you know, hangouts, something like that. There wasn't any real event going on that would distract the guys, so we had their full attention. What I always hated was that there was no boundary between you and them. You know, when you strip at a strip club, you're on stage.
Of course.
You know, or you're in the audience and you have bouncers. When it was just the 2 of us and our one bodyguard in a party of, you know, 12 to 20 guys, I mean, they could have easily overtaken us at any time.
Well, that's why you bring a bodyguard.
Well, we had one bodyguard, but what's he going to do if the 20 guys decide that they're going to overtake us?
Didn't you say he had a knife, though?
Well, yeah, I mean, he came packed. He was prepared, and he was a big, burly dude. But still, there's only so much you can do when you're outnumbered.
Frat boys aren't going to fuck with him.
No, I know. And, I mean, we held our own. I mean, little did I know, my girlfriend, she stitched a switchblade into the back of her corset, which was pretty genius.
Yeah.
So.
That was, you told that story in the podcast, I think.
I love that story. It's one of my favorites.
All right, you ready to move on?
Yes, but I want to call out one thing from Charles Ashworth, who says, writers are supposed to be temperamental and have substance abuse problems.
Supposed to. I think it's actually written in a manual somewhere that you guys all have to be that way.
It's not that we have substance abuse problems. Jesus fucking Christ.
I love you
not
couldn't say the word
my
abuse.
Point tonight. This fucking Zyrtec with the Sudafed like chaser.
I love that you slurred the word abuse. That is now my favorite thing. I'm clipping this.
I can't even make my point now. I can't. I was going to say something really like thoughtful and genius about how we don't abuse substances. But clearly I'm an asshole. Where are you going?
I'm going to get a glass for some Out Creek.
Oh, all right. Well, David, the producer, is going to have some the more potent substance. No, what I was going to say is that we don't abuse our alcohol. Well, most of us don't. We use it to enhance what's already there. You know, we take it to a certain point, and most of us know how to cut it off before it goes too far. Me, when I chase with allergy medications, clearly it's not a good thing. What's going on here?
I'm getting some knob.
Stay with the producer.
Hold on.
Yeah, they can't see. There he is.
There you go.
Malted wants to know why I'm not eating. Quite honestly, I forgot. It wasn't any sort of deliberate ploy at anorexia or something stupid like that. We're just so busy here. You know, I'm working on the podcast. I'm working on serializing my book. We're trying to clean house. We're trying to get our shit together to go to New Orleans.
And you're writing the pilot.
And I'm writing a pilot. I have to create 12 episodes of a TV show in the next month and a half. So I forgot to eat. I did.
Worst things to forget to do.
And Patrick Fulmer just said, yeah, Hemingway. That's actually something David and I say all of the time. It's simmer down, Hemingway.
It's very true.
So moving right along on this spite-fueled episode, the final topic that makes me crazy is a person that I've dubbed Citizen Prissypants. And it's a very
I don't know what that means. When I was putting this together, when you wrote that, I'm like, I don't know what about that makes you angry or what that person does.
Well, I'm calling out the person who is self-righteous and judgmental and who knows the law and order of the world and has to call you out on it. Like the person, there are at least 3 people who send me emails on the regular about how I'm an alcoholic and I'm ruining my life.
They write me emails too saying, are you going to put a cap on that bottle for her?
Yeah, well, they asked me that too. They're like, well, don't you respect your husband? Shouldn't you cut him off? Shouldn't you cut yourself off? Because that's what love is. Sure,
Jerk.
We'll put that on pause for a second. Charles is asking, Juliette, when is your book out and what's it about? Charles, my book is called Morning Neurosis, and it actually came out a few years ago. It's available on Amazon and at Barnes & Noble and all these other places. However, if you'd like to hear it, I'm going to be releasing the entire book as an audio format on my podcast starting in May. Entire book right there. Couple chunks of chapters every week for the entire month, and you can hear the whole story. It's about me and my life in Los Angeles and dating rock stars and trying to reconcile that crazy past with a new reality.
Right. And no one needs to go out and buy the book anymore since you're going to be doing the audio book free on the podcast. Just go check it out there.
Yeah, check out the book on the podcast. And then if you enjoyed the story and you want to support me, go ahead and buy it, but don't buy it on Amazon. Buy it at Barnes & Noble.
Yep.
Truly, because Amazon, much as they have everything on the planet, they do not pay anybody who has anything on their site. We're talking people who have series. We're talking about people who have books. Amazon takes the highest chunk of royalties out of everything.
Not that you're angry about that.
Not that I'm angry about that either. So going back to Citizen Prissypants, and the self-righteous jackweeds who feel like they have to tell me I'm an alcoholic, go fuck yourself.
Oh, we had one even better than that. When you talk about people that are prissy pants.
Yes.
And we just ran into a very hysterical letter.
Oh my
over
God.
the weekend.
Oh, that's right. So when David and I were just getting together, we're totally new couple. We just moved in together. And this is prior to where we're living right now. It was one place earlier. And it was a very small apartment community. There were people on top of us and around us. And, young love, you're fucking like bunnies. I mean, raucous, rowdy sex every night of the week. And one day, David and I came home and we found a letter taped to our door. And it was from our very concerned neighbor who felt that our noises were disturbing the entire apartment complex because they were so aggressive and alarming.
And alarming.
And those were the words that they used.
That just means you're doing it right.
Right? That they told us that we needed to tame it down. Otherwise, they were going to take legal action against us.
Yep. I love that note. As a matter of fact, we saved the note and we just ran into it as we were, again, cleaning over the weekend and throwing shit out. We go, oh, that's not going in the garbage.
Well, and what's funny is that, we'd come face to face with this person every so often, and she would run away from us. But the one thing that she did do you remember? The snowman?
Oh, yeah, she knocked over our snowman.
She killed our snowman. This letter writer was such a little shrew. David and I were out playing in the snow. It was right before Christmas, and we were having a snowball fight, and
goofing off.
We were goofing off and stuffing snow down each other's pants, whatever. And we made a snowman. And the next day, we found that it had been murdered.
Decapitated.
And there was a set of footprints coming from the letter writer's door right over to the snowman, and then right back to the door-to-door house.
Yeah, right. And Patrick Fulmer says, David the Screamer. Thank God it wasn't that way, because that would have been embarrassing.
Oh. You know, you just get rowdy. It's what you do. It's fun.
Did you read Charles?
What does Charles say? In order to keep it classy, Juliette, tell them to urinate up a piece of vertically suspended hemp.
I just tell people to go piss in the wind.
That's easier said. And Charles also says you're not doing it right if furniture isn't broken.
That's right.
Cheers
You have
to
to have
that.
one wobbly chair after a good session, or else
Something. I mean, you need to be walking funny the next day, you know?
like a sand crab.
Exactly. That's how you know you did it right. Oh, this is good bourbon. Good bourbon. How's yours tasting, David the producer?
Oh, I just had the second sip, and I really dig this 12-year Knob Creek. It really is good.
Yeah, it grows on you.
And I've never been a Knob Creek fan, to be quite honest.
No, I'm not either. I'm not really a fan of anything coming out of Jim Beam. The corn is just a little too high
Except
and too
Booker's.
sweet. Booker's is different.
Yes, Booker's is
different.
a class in, by itself. I don't know how that actually comes out of Jim Beam.
Agreed. But Knob Creek is never my favorite, but I really like this.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'll put that up since it's Bourbon of the Week.
Well, there we go. Bourbon of the week. Hello,
How much
Knob
was that a
Creek.
bottle, by the way? I don't think we talked about that.
$50.
$50 is pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Especially for the level of proof, because this is a sipping
Well,
one.
100
Wow.
proof, 12 years, Knob Creek. It's
Got
just
some
it's
bite to
solid.
it.
It's just a tiny bit drying, I think, but
Right.
otherwise you really get all those classic bourbon flavors with just that oakiness that makes it feel substantial. I love it. But why are you pointing at me?
No, just get the Bourbon Soak Live.
Oh, thank you. Ice Cold Water says, the topic reminds me of a Cal Smith song, The Lord Knows I'm Drinking. I like that. I don't know the song, but I'm going to have to
We're gonna
look
go
it up.
check it out now.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would dig. So just a reminder, y'all, you are watching Juliette Miranda. That would be, this drunk chick here.
The broad.
Right. And my show is Bourbon Soak Live. It happens every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to do our best to keep it going throughout the move. Now, we might miss a week here and there because, as I've said a zillion times, but if you haven't heard me say it, David and I are moving from Chicago to New Orleans, and we're doing it in the next 20 days. But we're going to do our best to keep this going every Monday night, and I love having y'all here. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these episodes. Oh, ice cold water is blended whiskey. I did not know.
Very cool.
Patrick Fulmer says Old Forester 100 in my glass.
That's a classic.
Ooh.
It's a classic. I love that.
Yes, that is good stuff. Old Forester is solid. I don't think I've had a single release from Old Forester that I did not like, including the Kingsman release, which was admittedly a little bit of a marketing, cheesiness, but it was still very good.
And you already covered what's coming on the podcast in first weekend of May.
First week of May. But in the meantime, the current episode of my podcast, The Unwritable Rant, is a crazy story about the job that led me to decide to become self-employed. And it's just this horrible job that I had out here in Chicago, actually, with a very small company who did terrible things to me. It's a very funny story. So if you love listening to controlled stories where I'm not entirely, hammered on Zyrtec and Knob Creek, check out The Unwritable Rant. And again, coming in May, I will be offering free my book, Morning Neurosis, for the entire month. Yay. Oh, Jay Reel says he's going to miss us.
I know. We had a really fun time gambling with him at the Elgin Casino.
Yeah,
How long ago was that?
It was
That's going on like 4 or 5 months ago now.
It's more than that. I feel like it was
Is
the
it?
end of the summer last year.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Man. Well,
But that was a blast. So we're totally going to miss you. But if you ever come to New Orleans, there's a Harrah's right down the road from us.
like 10 blocks?
About, yeah. So, so we got that going for us. Let me thank everybody who's been here hanging out with us. The Shape, who says, miss you, you leaving? Yes, the shape. I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm leaving Chicago and moving to New Orleans. Patrick Fulmer, Charles Ashworth, Richie Z, Blended Whiskey, who is also Ice Cold Water. All of my whiskey friends, Fred Rosado, thank you for being here tonight. Mad Kiwi,
Container Man,
Container Man,
Jimmy C.
Y'all, thank you, everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I really appreciate you watching. So I'm gonna finish off this drink and give David, the producer, hell, because why not?
Because it's obviously coming.
Because we are stir crazy. And no, the shape, I'm not leaving YouTube. Never, 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 never. Y'all are stuck with me. So I hope y'all have a great week. I'll be back next Monday night, 7 p.m. Central, to hang out and drink with y'all some more. So, cheers.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Same.